Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Ride the Pine, our 50th episode. I am Sean Sproat. Joining me, of course, Adam Freeman and Kenny Hutton. It is our 50th episode, and just like the Copa America final, you do not need a ticket to attend. So welcome in, everyone. Fellas, how you doing?
And we're about as organized as well as they were. So
that was absolutely incredible.
Like us, Common together.
Oh my God, it was.
We are same.
I just love that everybody truly thinks that that is how a World Cup is going to be run in the United States, because clearly they've never seen how Super Bowls are run, and you can't get anywhere near a stadium for a Super Bowl.
I mean, this was supposed to be the run-up for the World Cup, though. This was like the trial run to see how it would go.
But it's not. The World Cup is not being run by CONMEBOL or whatever the hell they are.
Nailed it. CONMEBOL. Yep.
Yeah, whatever. The Common Bowl. That's about what it was.
No, a Common Bowl is what you get at Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the first bowl game of the 63 that are out there. But so have they released? Yeah, have they released what is wrong with Messi's ankle? Was it his Achilles?
It's a high ankle sprain, grade 3 or something like that. It's a tendon issue. He's gonna be out for quite a while.
Yeah, the Achilles tendon.
I don't know. All I saw was a tendon issue, high sprain, out indefinitely.
That thing looked like it had ankle weights.
He could model that new third jersey Florida's got. That is
a sharp.
That jersey. Is perfection.
That's one I might add to the collection just because it looks so sweet.
It
probably cost me like $300.
I messaged a friend right after he got hurt his ankle, and then like the camera cuts to it, and he takes off the tape, and it just immediately swells up.
Yeah,
I messaged him that like Messi's ankle looks like a holiday boar's head honey ham. It was basically the exact same size. The thing was huge. He's out for a while.
That was massive, and it was swollen so fast.
Yeah, it's not good.
You release the tension and it just goes. That's why it made me think it was an Achilles. Is that at first I wasn't sure because he was able to walk. Generally, you're not able to walk on it unless you're Aaron Rodgers and just inhuman.
Yeah.
But the way that it swelled and where it swelled and how he went down definitely looked like an Achilles.
Yeah,
because it was stretched. Everything was perfect. That field was absolute dog shite. Which is crazy for Miami, but
I mean, we are talking about the same stadium that had a car explode and catch on fire in it. So,
well, it happens. It is hot in Miami.
Yeah,
I mean, if you guys have ever been down there, it's a different level of hot. It's the heat and the humidity that gets you down there.
That's what gets you. It's the humidity. Yeah.
No, it's both. Down there, it's definitely both, and the boa constrictors. They'll get you too.
Moving on from one disaster to another, from Messi's ankle to the National Anthem at the All-Star game.
What so proudly we hail by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Or the ramparts we watch.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this lady's name, but something like Ingrid Andres is what I'm going with. 4-time Grammy winner, sings the national anthem. Well, attempts to sing the national anthem for the Home Run Derby. We'll get to the Home Run Derby being a shit show anyways. That's the third shit show. Absolutely horrible. Carl Lewis said it was bad. Like there are some bad national anthems, and this lady tops it. Comes out 12 hours later, 16 hours later, and reports that she was drunk when she sung the national anthem and checked herself into rehab. I don't get it. How does that happen?
The Twitter statement was amazing. It's like, all right, I'm not gonna bullshit you. Like, all right. I mean, the real question is, though, have either of you gentlemen heard of this person before?
No, and I listen to country. I heard she was a 4-time Grammy winner, and I'm like, what the hell? I've never heard of this person.
You're the only one here that listens to country. So if anyone's gonna know, it's gonna
It
be
would be
you,
me.
right?
Yeah. Unless I just haven't paid enough attention. But man, like I've legit like even Madison was like, I don't know who she is. And she probably listens to more than I do.
Well, everybody knows her now.
Yeah.
Probably not for the
She's
reason
gonna
that she
win a
wants.
fifth Grammy.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like whenever I drink heavily, which doesn't happen often anymore, but when it does, I feel like I become a better singer. Maybe that's the
I think so.
intoxication in me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a little
Usually
bit of
that's what
liquid
happens.
lubrication.
Yeah, you get the little extra courage, a little bump. You're really not well. I guess that's a different type of courage, but you get a little bit of both, and you're in it. You start singing karaoke.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would ever karaoke the national anthem though.
I mean, it is like one of the hardest songs to
It's
sing.
tough. Yeah.
Like, do they vet her? Like, how does this all? Every couple of years, this happens. I'm starting to put on like my tinfoil hat and think like this is like done on purpose, right? Because all we've been talking about is the All-Star game and that, so it's got to be done on purpose, right?
Well,
I've
the
often
issue.
wondered that.
Yeah.
There is the issue that everybody since, well, I guess really it's been today, everybody has been bashing the fact that Fox absolutely butchered the entire broadcast of the All-Star game because they did very few player in-game interviews. A couple years ago, they did the Nestor Cortez and what the hell is the catcher, where they were both mic'd up at the same time while they were pitching to each other, which was awesome.
Yeah.
You constantly have the interviews during the game. They didn't have those. They pretty much just ran the broadcast, which is okay, but like you have to have that level of conversation in a game that doesn't matter. And arguably, it is the best All-Star game because it's the only one that people care about. Like when I say people, the athletes actually care about. You can't tell me that any of the other athletes in any other sports enjoy playing in the All-Star game. Most of them try to find ways to get out of it so they don't have to play, like Ryan Helsley. But I think that probably is the problem, is that they had no idea what they were doing in the broadcast. They could have had so many different camera angles. That stadium is absolutely incredible. Like we did the Mizzou tailgate down there for the Cotton Bowl, and there are so many cool angles that you could have from that stadium for a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
They could have done so many different things, and Fox butchered it.
Fox has been screwing up all over the place because if they messed that up, they also messed up Copa America.
Yeah.
Are they just biding their time until they lose the rights? Like I don't know what they're doing. I don't know who's in charge over there, but they need to get it together.
I mean, it does beg the question of like baseball has a face of the game problem, right? Like, who is the face of the game?
Shohei.
Sure, but he doesn't speak English.
Aaron Judge. Livy Dunn.
Yeah, Livy Dunn is probably more popular than anybody in that baseball game outside Shohei Ohtani.
Probably.
And probably people don't care about Aaron Judge unless you're on the East Coast. I don't know if a lot of people on the West Coast.
I don't know if I go that far. I mean,
I go out of my way to watch. I will watch Shohei Ohtani. I'll stay up late to watch Shohei Ohtani play. I'm not going out of my way to watch Aaron Judge play.
I think he's getting to that point that I would say that he should
Really?
be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said this to somebody I work alongside, and I said, I don't know who won the home run derby.
I can tell you
know who the guy is. No. I know his name is Oscar Hernandez or Rodriguez or Fernandez.
Hernandez, yeah.
But I don't know who he is. Like, I seriously don't. The only reason I know who Bobby Witt Jr. is because my wife's family is Kansas City Royals fans. Like, none of these guys catch my interest.
Bobby Witt's a interesting player because of how young he is and the fact he's already
but he's
35
right?
million a year.
Yeah.
Well, and
again,
Kenny, I think part of
baseball has a superstar problem.
I think it's just so regionalized. So like Teoscar Hernandez is a pretty good player, but what he played in, where did he start?
He
Did he
plays for the
start in
Dodgers.
Well, yeah, he
Dodgers,
plays
yeah.
for the Dodgers. I think he started in
Seattle?
Toronto.
No, Toronto.
No, I
It
think
was
he only
Toronto.
played a year. I think he was only a year in Seattle.
Yeah, I think you're
And
right.
I think it was Toronto and then
Yeah.
Seattle, and then he got traded to the Dodgers. So think of it this way: we don't ever see him in Toronto or Seattle, being Midwest or South in Sean's case. Sean would because of the Rangers. You might have seen him play Seattle, or you might have seen him when they played Toronto. But the Cardinals, Kenny, we would never see him.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he's with the Dodgers. That anytime that he's going to be on, it's either going to be Sunday Night Baseball, which may or may not watch unless the Cardinals are on it, or it's a big time matchup like Shohei versus, if the Dodgers and Pirates were on Sunday Night Baseball and it was Shohei versus Skeens, I guarantee you we would watch it, at least that matchup. And then all the other games are on the West Coast, so we're never going to see any game. It's not. There's no national broadcast. I can't. We're all watching MLS right now. Well, two of us are watching the MLS right now with the City game. We literally could flip to any MLS game tonight if we wanted to. Can't do that in baseball.
That is exactly what I was going to say, because it kind of ties into what we were saying about Fox, is that it is so regionalized that if you want to watch Teoscar Hernandez play for the Dodgers, you probably have to pay $125 a season to be able to do that, which is insane on top of everything else you're already spending to get streaming, to get internet, to get everything. Like, that's just not acceptable.
So I went to the Cardinals game against the Cubbies Saturday night, the makeup game from May, and I'm having a conversation with the guy I went with, and I said, you got to realize this is probably the first Cardinals game I'll watch in full.
Yeah.
I said, I nobody carries Bally's anymore in the area. If they're on Fox on a Saturday, the likelihood that I'm actually sitting down to watch the game is probably less than 40%. Like, because it's Saturday in the summer, we're doing things. We're going to the pool. We're outside. Like, I'm not paying attention to baseball when I probably should Monday through Friday. And yeah, I mean, I don't know who any of these kids are.
Yeah, we went to the game last Wednesday, and I said the same thing. Yeah, that's we were sitting with people with Jess's work on Wednesday, and I'm like, this is the third game I've seen all season, and I've been to all three of those. Like, it's just not.
Go
not
ahead.
A thing anymore.
I was gonna say, what's crazy about that is I live out of market, and I've watched of 100 games, I've watched 85 of them.
Right.
But I can do that. How dumb is that?
Because so that's what he was telling me. My friend, my other friend Sean was saying I know he's a SWA.
Oh, so he's
it's not a real Sean.
Yeah. So he was saying because he's a Cubs fan who lives in St. Louis, obviously out of market, and through just the Roku app, he can do it. And I was like, the only way I can watch hockey is by doing something a little nefarious, by using a VPN. But baseball doesn't have a deal with like ESPN Plus, and then you can't even install a VPN on a Roku anyway. So like there are so many limitations to watch baseball. And like
we talked about it last
the
week.
Home Run Derby and the All-Star game, but like again, I don't know any of these kids.
Yeah.
And we talked about it last week or the week before with the Dallas Stars starting their own streaming service. And I think that's going to become the norm. But when it came out, the problem that immediately hit with a lot of the local radio, and really just not just sports, but anybody that really focuses on the Cardinals, so even like local news channels hit on it, that the Cardinals will have a very hard time because they don't want to adapt to the new age thinking, because so many of their fans don't use it. So much of their viewership comes from the fact that Bally's is aired on whatever channel, whatever station that people pay, or whatever cable network people are paying for. Like, people legitimately in St. Louis pay for whatever cable network so that they can watch Cardinal baseball. Which to me is crazy. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way and find a cable network that only provides me Cardinal baseball. Like YouTube TV, we have because it fills a lot of the void that we need with TV. I don't like it, but I'm not going to go out and now find whatever channel Bally's is carried on. And it would be fantastic if they went to a streaming service and locally KPLR, which used to be channel 11 for us, goes back to airing broadcast, which is what should be done.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna it's gonna sound like I'm attacking you, but well, no, maybe not. Bally's is withholding the ability to watch Cardinals game on their streaming app because they know it's so popular here.
Yep.
And we're to blame for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even pay the $20 a month like my father-in-law does in Kansas City to get it because the Royals are an option, but the Cardinals are not. Unexcusable for the Cardinals to allow their fan base to suffer through. I have not watched Cardinal baseball in like 3 years.
Yep.
And I watch every game. I'm like I said, I'm out of market because I have MLB TV, but I don't pay for it. I get it free through T-Mobile. If I didn't, I'm not paying for that. There's no way I'm doing that. So that leads into like my question is: would you rather have MLB TV without the blackouts? Would you be willing to pay that, or do you want to go to kind of like the NFL model where you can watch the games on like a YouTube TV, but it's still regionalized. You can't watch every single game. They're going to pick and choose which ones are best for your region depending on the day.
I mean, I'd be okay with the NFL model, is that you have a channel or channels is probably the better way to do it. Which I think, honestly, that's how MLB Network started or MLB TV started. Is it started with regional versions of it to where you could, if you were in the Midwest or whatever, you got the Cardinals game and you had like one or two other channels. For whatever reason, I remember there being like 8 or 9 MLB TV channels on a guide at one point. I think I'd be okay with that. I think that as long as you get like you have access to a national broadcast, like this is the game that's always going to be on MLB TV, and then you have your local game. For instance, with the NFL, with here we would always have a Rams game. Now we always have Chiefs games, but we also get the national broadcast no matter what. Whatever game is the game of the week on Fox or CBS, we also get that game. So do we want to jump into the Teoscar Hernandez winning the home run derby? Because I got a lot to say about well, not a lot, but I have a very strong opinion on the home run derby. Home run derby, Teoscar Hernandez wins. Great hitter. He's fantastic. It's awesome that he won. Bobby Witt Jr. almost tied it with his last out. He missed a home run by 5 feet, something like that. At least that's what the replay showed. I didn't really watch any of it. Part of that is because this new layout and the fact that they keep changing the layout of the home run derby is an absolute crime. The way that the home run derby was set up this year is that there is no bracket. It's no more bracket. All 8 hitters got to hit as many home runs as they can in the first round. All right, cool. There's still the golden ball or whatever. There's still a time limit. All this stuff that goes into it. But now all these hitters go, and then the top 4 hitters. This is basically like the 3-point competition, is what it's become. Is the top 4 hitters, they go to the semifinals, and then they get seeded against each other, and then it moves forward like a normal bracket style. Why the hell can we not just go back to it's either a home run or an out, and you get 10 outs? Like, what happened to that? That, to me, in my opinion, one of the greatest shows when I was little, especially during the summers, is ESPN Classic used to have, whether, I don't know if it was real or not, I'm not really sure, but it used to have the home run derby in black and white. And it was classic players hitting against each other. And it was the classic, it's either a home run or an out here in the home run derby. Half hour, they're done. That was the best thing that they ever had when it came to the home run derby. That was McGuire in, was it 98 with Boston? When they were launching home runs all over Fenway Park. Guess what? It was either a home run or an out. There is no time limit. There is no points. There is no golden ball. Just hit the ball as far as you fucking can, as many times as you can without getting 10 outs, and then move on.
All-star games and home run derbies and stuff like that are dying. and these leagues don't understand that sometimes that less is more. And so
Right.
they're trying to pile on to get as much viewership as they can because they know that it's finite. It's going to end soon because nobody cares about these competitions anymore. Nobody cares about all-star games anymore. I like the fact that there is no bracket, that they actually go with like a table, because then you actually are getting the top 4 guys that are hit the most home runs that actually deserve to move on to the next round. Thing I hated
Keep
about
it
the
that
bracket.
way.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. That's the part that I like. You could do that and have the 10 outs, and that's a perfect system for me.
For sure. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But they don't
I'm
need to
with
go to a
Adam.
bracket style.
Let's move back to the ESPN Classic of like Mickey Mantle facing off against Al Kaline in a 9-inning home run derby. I love it.
Yeah, and just
what a fucking own goal.
It sure looked like it.
And St. Louis City is losing again.
Great.
Right on cue.
Yeah, I liked having more people into it. I mean, and I think there are times that the new setups do promote like an exciting moment. Like I think it was 2 years ago that like Bryce Harper went on an absolute tear with like 40 seconds left or something like that and hit, I forgot how many home runs. It worked out to like a home run every 3 seconds or something. It was something stupid. You get moments like that. You get I think the Josh Hamilton year was versus bracket where they seeded based upon how many home runs you hit, and then so number 1 went against number 8, and they went that way. You're gonna get moments that are cool, but my God, just go back to the basics. Because Sean, you're right. Like there's so many rules behind it that it's not entertaining anymore. I remember sitting in the All-Star or in the Home Run Derby when it was here, and it was standard rules. It was fantastic. Like,
yeah,
it's just that's the way that it was for years, and now we're changing it. The NFL has realized that they just have to do something completely different when it comes to all their games. So now they just have a massive, I don't even know what the hell to call it when it comes to all the different games that they have. The NHL has stayed relatively true with what their competitions are. I don't even know what the hell the MLS does. And the MLS just makes stuff up, I'm pretty sure.
MLS has a great skills competition.
It's pretty decent. NBA is still fairly true.
Wars. No one else has goalie wars.
Goalie wars is pretty cool, yeah. But NBA's got the 3-point competition. The dunk competition is absolutely stupid right now.
Yeah,
I almost
it's
said
got to go.
That's probably got us banned. But the dunk competition is terrible. The 3-point competition, honestly, I will say this: the 3-point competition with the WNBA participants is better than the slam dunk contest, right? I'll stand on that ground.
No, that. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's correct.
It's interesting. It's a competition. It's not just guys going up, throwing a ball through a hoop and hoping that they get points for it, and nobody knowing what the score is going to be. Just somebody pulling a number out of their ass.
That's another example, though, of less is more. If the NBA would dial back the dunking and limit each guy to like 3 dunks total, don't do head-to-head, go table, and like rank them based on like a point system, I'm in. Sign me up.
Right. Yeah, it has an opportunity, but instead we have to put flair on it because we're trying to broaden our horizons or whatever the hell you want to call it, and this is what happens.
Congrats to Teoscar Hernandez, I guess.
Yeah, great job. It wasn't Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso this year was not a big, strong guy. He cannot put somebody in a hospital. Thank God he didn't win it. The last thing I wanted is another Pete Alonso video. I can't stand that dude.
Now, the reason why I really know who Teoscar Hernandez is because in MLB The Show, he's like the first guy to be traded every single year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason why I know.
Makes sense.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What else we got?
Nice segue into the fact that college football 25 has come out, and Sean, you need to tell everybody about me picking your school.
Oh my God, that was fantastic.
So first of all, this game is dominating my life. I
wish it was.
I can't get away from it. I work from home, and so it is always on in the background while I am working, and it's just nonstop. I've already played one full year in Dynasty, and the game's been out for like 24 hours. But
Wow.
So the way I initially picked the team that I wanted is I singled out 30 different teams and I put them all on a wheel randomizer and I spun the wheel and landed on a specific team and I put it into our group chat. Guess what team? Just like that. Yeah. Guess what team I picked? And out of 135, even more than that, schools, Kenny picked the team. You guessed the team that I got, which was
In how many guesses?
one guess.
One guess.
Hold on. I have to share that. Let me go back. Hold on. Let's see where I'm at. Let's see here. Some of the names that have been popping up, they've got to be fake, but like somebody popped up and said there was one that was Jeff Epstein. That was hilarious.
That was so
my
funny.
favorite one that I know for sure is an edit. It said it was somebody was a receiver and it said that their skill as a wide receiver was deep throat.
Oh god.
That's a good one.
You can go in and you can edit every player in the game if you want to. Like there's an option where you can turn that on.
Yeah.
So Thursday at 8:02, Sean texts, schools picked. It's not going to be easy. Me, would I be able to guess? Sean, I mean, technically, yes. I said, West Coast. He goes, nope, East. I said, North or South? North. To which I replied with a Mark Cuban, I'm out gif that said, there's no way. And I immediately followed it up with Villanova.
Which blew my mind and was correct. And the kicker of that is Villanova's not even in the game.
I don't think they have a football program.
They have a football program, but they're horrendous. They're not in the game at all. They didn't make the cut. So I go to log on the first day, and I'm scrolling through all the schools, and I'm like, where the hell is Villanova? So I'm like,
It's usually in the V's.
Well, yeah, but they weren't there, and I started questioning my ability to read the alphabet. And so I was like, maybe I should filter out by like 1-star schools. So I went down to 1-star schools, and they weren't there. It's like, okay, they're definitely not more than a 1-star rated program, so they're clearly not at the game. Had to spin the wheel again, ended up with Coastal Carolina, and I'm taking them to the promised land, baby.
Okay, real question. Does Villanova even have a football team?
I Googled it right now. Yes, they do. They do have
They do.
Okay, yes, they do.
They do have a football team.
What conference do they play in?
They're FCS, I think.
What they
Coastal
are FCS.
Athletic Association for football only.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Their stadium holds 12,000 people. Oh, which reminds me, I got a thing on that in a second. I was trying to see when they were established.
It's almost as many as Vanderbilt.
Anyway, so I did see something that was cool about that triggered off of that 12,000 capacity. So unlike some schools, Kansas, Vanderbilt, that like to play in half destroyed stadiums, Northwestern is redoing. I forget what the stadium is called. I think it's Paul Ryan Field. Either way, they're redoing their stadium. They're doing a full rebuild of it, remodel, demo, all that good stuff. They decided that in order to still have a stadium, they were finding it difficult to try at Soldier Field. I think they have a couple games at Wrigley. Whatever. It's kind of neat. They took their practice field and they found a company that puts together the stadium seating for like 16 at TPC Scottsdale, that builds the stadiums and builds these scaffolding things. And they're putting a 15,000 seat stadium around this practice field that sits on the lake. Like three sides have seats. The fourth side is the lake. Mm-hmm. So they can't put seats there. And it actually has more private, I think they call it semi-private suite seating than the Paul Ryan, the actual football facility that they are playing in. And they're going to play in it for 2 years. And even better, the coach donated $100,000 or more.
One question. I have one question. You said the 15,000 seats. What are they going to do with the extra 6,000 empty seats?
And that was, somebody brought up a great point, is that I think they play Wisconsin at home. They were going to play that game at Green Bay, but apparently everybody threw a fit about Northwestern being the home team at Lambeau and playing That's Wisconsin. Fair. I get that.
Yeah.
And then I forget who the other home game was that they're playing. Like it's another big home game. I think they play Ohio State on the road. Like the other big other big games they have are on the road. But yeah, it was an interesting article. It's kind of cool that kind of just that's what came up, and then to see a coach that gave back his money says that he's giving back money, whatever. To have a facility like that built, and it's a totally unique idea. Instead of like having, like I said, half your stadium in ruins and playing around bulldozers, like the stupid lowercase k Kansas.
So
or
the
trying
other
to play
team,
games in Arrowhead.
the other team is Ohio State.
Is Ohio State at home? I thought it was on the road.
No, it's
Ohio
at home.
State is at home.
It's
That's
at home
awesome.
in Northwestern on November 16th.
That'll have 15,000 Ohio State fans.
Imagine kicking a field goal in that stadium in November 16th
Oh my God.
against Ohio State on Lake Michigan, and that wind that comes off
The wind,
lake.
yeah. Depth perception on it.
That might be must-watch football.
Oh, I'm for sure watching it. If a Northwestern game comes on the Big Ten Network, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, just for
because I want
this
to see.
show. Yeah, they have. Let's see. They play Michigan on the road, unfortunately, but they have the Fighting Illini at home in the final game. They welcome.
I think that's at Wrigley.
Okay, they welcome in Wisconsin, Ohio State, Indiana. Duke.
I think Ohio State is at Wrigley.
Is that Wrigley?
I think so.
You would have to put it at Wrigley. Like, there's so many
buying.
Ohio State alumni in Chicago. You would have to put it in Wrigley.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy tickets. Let's see.
Buying them right now.
Yeah.
I would just like to turn off the road on this one and mention SEC Media Days and mention what Coach Drinkwood said. It is well past time that we put Mike Leach into the College Football Playoff Hall of Fame. It is well deserved. The Pirate deserves it. Innovative offensive mind and truly dearly missed. And he did what no other man could do and get Craig James fired from ESPN, and that really brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pirate.
Yeah, I mean, you have the man that developed the air raid system that is run in probably
95% of the high schools.
I was going to say probably 70% of all high schools and probably 95% of all big-time high schools. The air raid gets run. It's a part of probably almost every offense in college football, except for you have the option heavy temes. There's a version of air raid in all those.
That's what I was gonna say. Even the option teams take an element from that. So
right.
My absolute favorite Mike Leach story though is he was a assistant at. Can't remember if he was assistant at Oklahoma or Texas. And anywho, they were playing vice versa. And Mike Leach's plan and the head coach's plan was to basically let them get their playbook, but every play was reversed. Mm-hmm. So if a guy was running, fade 10 yards to the sideline, he would actually run the opposite fade. So he would run to the middle of the field. So, like a stretch play. Yeah, a post. Thank you. So they're literally lining up, and this guy's thumbing through the playbook, yeah, okay, here's what's coming. Here's what's coming. Line up like this. And they fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, and they beat this team 77-0. It was one of my favorite stories.
I mean, it's a good one, but is it better than the press conference where he ranked all of the Pac-12 mascots by who would win in a fight? That one is pretty damn good.
That is fantastic. And let's just say this too. If it wasn't for Mike Leach, the Pac-12 After Dark is not a thing.
Wouldn't thing.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be a thing at all. Yeah. Or he had another good one where he ranked Halloween candy. That was a pretty good one too. At halftime, ranked Halloween candy.
Do we know what he picked for number one? Because that's a passion of mine. I need to know that he picked correctly.
His Halloween candy? Hold on. I want to say it was Reese's. He hates candy corn. Hold on. I got to find it.
Good.
Yeah, so I remember that. He hates candy corn. Get that out of here.
All right, hang on. I got it. It's scrolling and loading. Oh, I don't want to listen to the video. It's gonna mess everything up. I know he was a big fan of gummy bears.
Yes. Okay, good. Underrated. Also,
Leech.
Tootsie Rolls
Come on.
underrated. People shit
Tootsie
on
Rolls are
too
very
much.
underrated. I do that. All right, so I completely hate candy corn. Leach shared that he has an affinity for gummy bears, but it has to be the Haribos, no doubt. The other thing I like is when they used to have sprees in a box. Outstanding. You go to the dollar store to find it, but I do. He didn't stop there. Fan of the classics. There's still candy innovation, although a while back I found that Europe had a better candy than we do overall because they have gummy everything. They have nerd clusters, which is new. That's pretty good. Finally, the candy connoisseur said his top chocolate candy is an almond joy.
Nerd clusters are the
Hey,
jam, by the way.
that's not bad. Almond Joy, that's a good shout out.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. Just because it wasn't at halftime. It was post game press conference, or not post game on the field interview.
Guys, why are all the good ones taken too soon? That was a perfect list.
I mean, I think I think it's coming around. I really do. I think the personality is starting to get there.
You know what Mike Leach was? Mike Leach was a rainbow of personality in a world of coach speak where it is so black and white.
Yeah.
And to think of like Eli, Eli's a huge smartass and comes out and rocks the Darth Vader mask and the lightsaber, when Dan Mullen makes the comment and, Dan Mullen doesn't get back to Florida after that. And like just the outcry that like of people like, he should take football more seriously, blah, 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 blah. And then like everybody loved Mike Leach.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was the yin to the Saban yang, right? Like there can only be two kind of thing. And college football needs another Mike Leach. And I don't think we'll ever get another one.
Sports in general needs a Mike Leach. Everybody walks around with sticks up their asses. They're playing kids games. Come on,
exactly.
have fun with it.
So we didn't finish the conversation. Sean, you picked Villanova. Continue.
Oh, I did. I said I once they weren't in.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina is who I landed with. Yeah, which they have the weirdest mascot name, by the way. It's a rooster with a fist that comes out of nowhere, with a giant bicep. And they don't call themselves the Roosters. Hold on, I gotta look this up.
They're the Chanticleers or something like that.
Yeah. What the hell is that? What is that?
Well, they didn't want to be Bulldogs like everybody else or Tigers.
Well, I'm sure it's a nod to what's the general's name that was nicknamed Gamecock, and that's why South Carolina is the Gamecocks.
Oh yeah. There's probably something to it.
I can't think of his name right now.
The actual
I know as soon as we stop recording, I'll know it.
The actual mascot his name is Chansey or Chauncey. I don't know how they pronounce it. Well, let's go with
the head coach there. How do you not know?
I'm the offensive coordinator. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you're new. It's okay.
Chauncey, and I'm by the way the number one rated offense in the country. The best.
It's South Carolina. It's definitely Chansey.
Chauncey.
No, it's Chauncey.
I think it's Chauncey.
No, it's Chauncey.
Point still stands.
I'm going with Chauncey. Chauncey the Chanticleer. And a Chanticleer is a proud and fierce rooster.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. What is the name of that general? Damn it.
I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
But I gotta look it up. I can't leave you guys hanging like this.
Their logo is literally a rooster head, and there's literally an arm coming out of the side of it with the bicep and everything. It's cool looking, and I didn't realize that their field is completely teal. They kind of do the Boise State thing. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like I nailed it. The spin nailed it on the second try.
Who's the team that has the red field?
Eastern Washington?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Insert colorblind joke. They all do.
Yeah. I mean, early thoughts on the game, Sean?
It's great. I'm definitely experiencing some bugs. It's not like a perfect game. I had one early where I kicked a field goal late in the game to go up by like 13 points, and it did the graphic where like he kicked it successfully, yay, great, 3 points, but didn't actually add the 3 points to my score. Didn't matter because the game was over anyway. But that would have pissed me off if that was like a game winner. I've had like other like small things happen, but the last game that I played in the conference championship was at home, and for some reason the field was no longer teal for that game. I don't know what happened, but despite all of that, it's like 1,000 times better than anything Madden has ever done and ever will do. Like this is the template going forward, essentially.
Yeah.
Like it really is. It's so smooth. It feels so good to like as a running back to hit the hole, and it's so smooth. It's so I don't even know how to describe it. It just feels good. It feels great.
It's not I'm trying to think the best way to describe it. It's not easy on Heisman.
No,
I can play NCAA 14 right now on Heisman, and I would destroy any team. The computer generated. The AI is so much different.
On Heisman, I lost my first game against, who was it? Louisiana Tech or somebody like that. I lost by 40 points, and it's because I wasn't using the run to set up the pass, and I was being like way too one dimensional. You have to actually like know football. You have to think about it to an extent.
Yeah, Kenny, I played the
General
very first game.
Sumter.
There you go. The first game that I played was whatever night it came out, Tuesday night, Monday night. I don't fucking remember at this point. It's been a week. But it's only fucking Wednesday.
It's Tuesday.
But yeah. The first game I played was OU Mizzou at night at Faroe. I'm like, this will be awesome. It'll be a rivalry game. It's gonna be just like turning on NCAA 14. My first 5 out of 6 passes were picked off and taken to the house. It was embarrassing. I turned it off. I'm like, God, I hope nobody's watching this. This is absolutely horrible. But it's so immersive. There's so many different things that you can do. Recruiting on a dynasty is incredible. The mini games that they have, like Kenny, there are 30 mini games. Like I used to have in was it in Madden where you could do the hit the gauntlet where you have to do the running back stuff. Like it
was in NCAA games too in the past, but it was in Madden.
Oh yeah, it was in a couple of them. Yeah. But there's so many different games that you can do, like that are mini games that are pretty cool. Like when you get it, it's going to like open up everything. But it's legit. And the crazy thing to me is I saw a tweet at like it was probably 7:00 local time, so it had been out for 4 hours, and it had 700,000 people logged on to play that game.
It crashed the server.
That means at $100 a pop to be able to play the deluxe version early, they made $70 million at least off of that.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Wild.
And we just are getting the normal orders out.
The two best features of the game, and we won't talk about it for like forever because I know Kenny's probably annoyed since he doesn't have it. But
correct.
The two best features of the game is whenever you make a big play, like if you throw a bomb down the field, when your guy catches it before he even reaches the end zone, when the ball is in the air, before he even catches it, the crowd reacts. The crowd, you see them stand up based on where you're throwing the ball to. So if you're throwing into the far corner, the crowd will stand up in that corner, and you see it's like a wave, and they start standing up and they start reacting to it. And then when they catch it, they go wild, or they slump down and do surrender cobra. That's awesome. And then the second best thing is whenever you run the ball out of bounds on the opponent's sideline, they push you back. Like the other players get into it, and they get into each other's faces and they push each other, and it's like, hell yeah. Like this game's
if you make a big play, you can celebrate the big play, which is cool.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
They nailed it. It took 3 years for them to once they finally announced it, for it to finally actually hit the system. They nailed it.
Yeah.
I don't care about bugs. The biggest bug that I have was today. I got sacked as I was throwing the ball. They said it was a sack. My quarterback fell down, and the ball went 65 yards downfield. I don't know how it happened.
That's a Madden bug. That's what that is.
It wasn't a spiral, but it was just like flipping around, going end over end. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
I haven't had anything like that bad yet. Just a little small stuff, mostly graphical stuff. But yeah, it's a great game. It's gonna dominate my life for the next 6 months at least.
Yeah, I can't wait till the weekend when I actually get a chance to play it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Kenny, just come over. There you go.
Yeah, you go old school. Just get 2 controllers, play on one TV, just like the old days.
All right.
You're more than welcome. Well, I have some root beer and some Cheez-Its down here. I can see if we can put something on the stove, heat up some meatloaf or something.
When
I just love all the tweets that have been like, pizza rolls are in the oven.
Yeah.
Mom said I can stay up late. I'm 43 years old.
I sent this one to Jess. Hold on, I gotta find the tweet. It might take a minute. I sent this one to Jess. It was like, what the hell was it? It was a night before. I don't know if I sent it to you guys. The night before NCAA released. It was pretty fucking funny. Where the hell did it go?
While you're looking that one up, I saw a TikTok that was really funny. It's basically like a girlfriend is talking to the boyfriend. He's like, yeah, I'm really excited to play this game. I'm downloading it now. She's like, oh, cool. I'll check back on you in about 30 minutes. She comes back and he's dressed in a complete like the Texas polo with like the sunglasses, and he's got like the coaching board, and he's got the headset and he's calling plays.
Yep. Oh, where the hell did it go? I can't remember. I must not have sent it and just showed it to her. Oh, I just read it. But it was like the very first thing was it was the night before college football 25. Not a wife was happy, especially in the South or something like that. I'm like, this is exactly right. Good.
All right. Should we get out of here? Should we
wrap it up?
Yes.
All right. Be sure, everybody, to follow us on our socials. We're pretty much on every social media platform. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, any other ones I can't think of off the top of my head. Email the show, podridethepine@gmail.com. Like, subscribe on YouTube. That is the preferred platform. New episodes go up every single week, typically on Wednesdays, sometimes on Thursdays. It depends on when we record and if we're delayed or not. But yeah. Please subscribe, interact with the show, send us any message. We'll follow up with you. We love to interact with you guys. So absolutely. Please do. Cool. Let's get out of here.
It's the best time of the year. It's almost college football season.
Ooh, we're getting there. We're so close.
1 month.
I'm gonna watch more college football this year than I probably ever have. I'm
excited.
Hey,
I'm hooked.
Do you want to go to the Thursday night game?
Yeah.
Travel up. Let's get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.